Terus solusinya bagaimana? Anak ini harus kita bawa, Pak. Anak ini harus saya bawa. Coba Pak, disampaikan dulu.
Have you ever watched this kind of the video in your TV or in your social media? After you watch it, how do you feel? Are you feeling just like sad or pity or just like pathetic with the person in that the video? So hello everyone, how are you today? It is nice to come back with this video, but if you forget or don't know my name, I'm Aurismadiva Nurfahmi. I'm a student of an English education department of University Seperti, and today I would like to invite you into the great discussion with interesting topic. But before we go into the further discussion, so have you got your own idea or your own opinion about my previous question? If you are feeling sad or if you are feeling pity after you watch just like a people suffering in that video, or just like people sacrifice a lot to fulfill their livelihood, we did the same. I felt sad too, but finally I realized there's just like unethical thing with the content that just like show the people suffering or the how hard people fulfill their life. So this is what we call the poverty bond. So before we go into the further explanation about the poverty bond, let's discuss about the poverty first. What is actually poverty? Based on Britannica, poverty is the condition of someone who doesn't have a normal or appropriate amount of money or material goods and lacks of resources to fulfill the basic needs. The basic needs such as healthcare, education, occupation, clean water, nutritious food, and many other basic things. So this poverty has some factors that influence the poverty itself. There are many factors, but the major ones are from humans and the geographical. From humans, there are many factors such as a conflict or war, discrimination, and also corruption by government that influence the lack of education and also the occupation. According to UNESCO stated if 171 million people graduated from high school with basic reading skill, they would be lifted out of extreme poverty. So everyone except of the human factors, there's also geographical things. The geographical things such as just like natural disaster, landlocked regions, and the main one is climate change. Climate change is increasing number of wildfires, forests, decreasing the nutritious food, and also worsening the air pollution. Based on the World Health Organization predicts that the heat stress, malnutrition, malaria, and diarrhea will cause an additional 250,000 deaths between 2030 and 2050. And the World Bank estimates that all of this factor will push 132 million people into poverty over the next 10 years. The developing countries are the most vulnerable ones. Everyone, as human beings, we need to help our sister or our brother to eradicate the poverty or to help them get away into the poverty. Like Gavin Bird in his book about the self-esteem, Change Your Life in One Day, he stated if helping others without expecting anything in return is what the true self-worth is all about. As human beings, we have a self-worth. One kind of the self-worth itself is a sharing with the people. We can share what we have to the people's needs in many ways, such as the main one is about open donation. We can just like share what we have into the donation that provided by the company or just like the institution or someone else. But everyone, have you ever considered, have you ever realized if someone wanted to open a donation, they always just like put the images. For example, like they wanted to open donate for starving children, they put the starving children and also put the melancholy backstory, and also the person who are homeless. They put the picture of the person who homeless. And actually, everyone, the images leads us to make the stereotype what the poverty should look like, and the stereotype is one effect of the poverty porn or the poverty pornography. What is actually poverty porn or poverty pornography? Poverty porn is one of the media's ways to exploit the emotional story of or poverty of a person or group to gain audience sympathy and ultimately raise money or increase the publisher rating. So, except of open donation, except of just like get the money of the donation, the publisher also gain the financial into it after they put the just like unethical pictures in their media. Everyone, poverty porn doesn't start it or doesn't just like happening in this era. Actually, poverty porn started in the 1980s. There were many unethical picture or unethical things, just like starving children pictures and many other things, but we didn't realize it yet. After a content-driven era, we will realize it gradually. We realize it gradually if there is a problem with just like a charity that use the poverty porn as the media. So the poverty porn itself has impacts. What are the impacts of the poverty porn? First is the use of person suffering. So the person suffering, poverty porn is objectifying, exploiting the lower story of the person suffering to show how inferior, how pitiful, or how sadness their life. So the images that are people in it shames the people who are affected. After that, poverty porn illustrating poverty and the poor wrongfully. So many other media, many charity, many company use just like a picture that contain of the poverty porn to gain the funding quickly because they use the emotional or the psychological or of the audience to get the fundings in it. Without they just like explain the structure, how they become it, how it could be like that, what are the data that the poverty itself, and what are the explanation about the poverty itself. And it's going to be the danger of misinformation about the poverty or the poor people. Like Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie in her TED Talks, in the title "The Danger of a Single Story," poverty porn robs people of dignity. It makes our recognition of our equal humanity difficult, and also it emphasizes how we are different rather than how we are similar. So there will be misinformation if you use the poverty porn. The last but not least, let's talk about the poverty porn creates a short-term aid rather than long-term outreach. Many of us believing, trusting, if we give the money into the media or into the charity that use a poverty porn, they will directly or quickly eradicate the poverty itself because we use our emotional thing rather than our logical thing. So yeah, we need to think about logically about what is actually the poverty. After we think about the structure, after we know about the structure of the poverty itself, and also the data and also the explanation, we can create a long-term aid for the poor people. So everyone, there's an African proverb that if you give a man a fish, he will eat it and come back for another fish tomorrow. But if you give him a boat, he'll go and be able to fish for a day for himself. So this is why we need to use our logical thing, then our emotional thing to just like donate what we have into the poverty, or just like poor people or people who need our helping. And also everyone, I would like to just like give you a proof from a Tefasiniki, a founder of a blog of house from Denver. Actually, she also just like use a direct research for eradicating the poverty people, but actually it is totally wrong. It is the totally wrong idea. So she stated, instead of deciding to doing things for people, trying to doing things with people. So everyone, except you decide you just like giving your direct research with your emotional thing to into the media or into the charity that provide a poverty fund, it's better for you to more reconsider about the just like the donation, where the money goes, and also many other explanation that they just like really need our helping to help that people. So, how can we convey issues such as poverty while maintaining respect for the people that we capture? This is very simple. If you wanted to just like open donation, or just like uh, make your communication easier understand for the viewers or the audience, you can ask yourself by a several question. First is, how do we want people to feel, or do we when they read our communication? And then, does the image disrespect the people we are representing or helping? And then, what are the intention of sharing the photos? Do the image help to tell the full picture, or perpetuate a single perspective on a poverty? Have we saw the content of this photograph, and if we are using photos from other publications, are they credible publications? As change makers, we can do our part in the commenting to only sharing and taking photographs which have the informed consent of all relevant parties, protect the privacy of those individuals who have been victimized by abuse and exploitation, and are neither manipulative, dishonest, or disrespectful about these circumstances, and strive to promote respect, dignity, and empowerment instead of sympathy and stereotypes. And for donator, or for the people who wanted to just like donate their money into the charity, you need to re-ask or reconsider it with the several questions too. How much of the money is transferred to local causes? Can the charity provide an audit? Are the locals given agency to handle their problems with the money raised? Is the charity building local infrastructure? Are skills being transferred to locals so they have the ability to use your money to do good? Is the programming respectful of the cultural norms and local perspective in the country it serves? So after you ask this question in your life, you will actually, your money will be the good, and your money will directly just like beneficial for the people who really need your money. So everyone, I think that's all about my explanation about poverty fund. So as a human being, we need to actually use our emotionally and also logically thing to just like helping people that really need our helps. Thank you very much for your attention. And also see you in another occasion with the other interesting topic. The next time.